Chelsea, maybe. I don't know.
Chelsea, Villa, Liverpool, Brent. I wouldn't rule out Brentford. I hope Brentford do it, of course. Whoever's got a fight out there, you might fight out, innit? I don't know about that.
No, I hear it. You know what I mean? So now it's gonna be interesting. Big up the chat, bro. I've been seeing these Rodgers links, bro. I can't lie, bro. It's definitely his agent, bro. Because them many clubs don't want that youth, blood. He ain't even had a good season like that. You know what I mean?
That's
So,
harsh, man.
bro, he hasn't. Like, brother, Rodgers ain't done nothing for man to be getting linked to Man United, Arsenal, and all these teams. Like, what the fuck have you done this season, bro? Like,
I'd have him, but it's one of them where if you're not gonna put Declan Rice money, Caicedo money, it's a myth, innit? Like, it's a bunch of reasons why them rumors come out. Obviously, he's having somewhat of a decent season. He's a shooting for Tuchel. There was
kind of
he
meaty
signed.
season, bro.
Pardon?
Like, bro. Man, I'm saying he's having a bro. Listen, the way I see it is, yeah, this is the business end of the season, yeah. And Villa have been kind of tailing off, blood. You know them ones there. Like, this is the part of the season where you need to be mashing work. You need to be firing your team into the Champions League, innit?
Well, that's
Villa
what
look
Emre
like they're on
does.
the Villa look like they're on the slide. You know them ones.
Yeah,
So
no, that's what Emre does. And I think the
yeah,
rumors it's a bit like Newcastle, bro, in that
yeah.
when you look at Villa and Newcastle, you always hear, PSR. Obviously, star players are going to get linked with moves away. Where Aston Villa are concerned, you'd have to speak to a Villa fan. But if it got to that, there's probably about 20 players they will sell before Morgan Rodgers. It depends, though, man. But like you said, it probably is agent talk because, forgive me if I'm wrong, signed a new deal in November. It's about 100 odd million quid. Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United. It's not that they wouldn't take him. It's like money's got to stretch to do other things on top of that. So it's silly season, man. As we get to the close end of the season, bro, there's gonna be bare rumors, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm not really sure about that. I think that's more coming from his side than anyone else's, bro. I think that one, it would be too expensive, and two,
Please.
he's not coming off a good season, bro. It was kind of like the Kudus situation with Spurs as well. Kudus had a good season, then he had a meaty season, then he got the move. You know them ones, and it's like Rodgers was probably better last season. So it's one of them ones where to ask for 100 million for Rodgers now is cheeky, bro.
Yeah, this is like it's that tax in it, whether they're worth it or not. If you want to sign an Elliot Anderson, a Morgan Rodgers, a Morgan Gibbs White, you need to have anything from 70 all the way to 100 million. And if you're not gonna do that, it's a non-stop story, in it. Too much dominoes have to fall into place to grab these guys.
Yeah.
Or
So
for a
yeah,
move
man.
to make progress.
So I'm not really sure about the Morgan Rodgers thing. For me personally, I don't see where he fits into my team. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't see if it's as a 10, it's a no, and if it's as a left winger, it's a no. Like I just don't see. For me personally, I don't see where he fits in because if United were looking for a left wing and they signed Morgan Rodgers, I'll be fuming because he's not a proper winger. Like.
I'm having him. I'm having him at Arsenal, man. And
On the left wing.
Ironically, yeah. Like,
But
don't get
maybe the
twisted.
way you play, because you don't play with proper wingers anyway. I guess you.
No, it's not even. You could say that, but it's not even that. Like, obviously, he's adaptable. He can play in the midfield free. But for me, it's more of a thing of like, I'm not saying these guys are bad players, and I'm not even saying Arsenal are going to sign them. But we're linked with what Rafa Leao every now and again, Nico Williams every now and again, Anthony Gordon now and again. All of these players are decent, but they don't 100% convince me. So if it was up to me, I'd rather whatever piece is going to go into these lot, I'd rather just spend it on Morgan Rodgers, if I'm honest. And you've seen our left hand side. Like I'd rather put up with Morgan Rodgers than what we got at the moment.
No, I hear that. He's probably an upgrade on what you've got on the left hand side. But for me, yeah, I'm not having Morgan Rodgers still. I just don't. I'm not a believer, bro. Like, a lot of these English brothers are just overhyped, man. I think he's another one as well. I think in his moments he can do some good things, but if man are telling me that Morgan Rodgers is starting for my club for the next 4 years, bro, I'm like, nah, bro. Nah, I'm all right still. Like,
I'm having him.
nah, fair play. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think Martinelli's leaving then?
Huh?
You think Martinelli's gonna leave? Because Trossard signed a new deal.
Martinelli, Trossard, Berta, you lot figure out whoever goes, go. I'm not one of them Arsenal fans in that. Obviously, every player's got a price in it. You go for our squad, there's a price that will make you sell every player. But there's only a handful of guys that I will consider quote unquote unsellable. He's not part of that list. I do think some Arsenal fans or football fans need to bear in mind, yeah, it's all fun and games saying sell Gabriel Jesus, sell Trossard, sell Martinelli, sell this one, say that, sell that one. There's about 5 names. If you only have 3, if you only bring in 3, and obviously 5 have gone, you're at a deficit in it. And we've all seen why you need a massive squad. So one of them's got to leave. It depends, man. If you're trying to do this kind of right now thing, then I think you can do this Trossard thing for another year or two. Martinelli's obviously got longevity. It probably is easy. It depends, because you could probably make more money, quote unquote, off Martinelli if you're looking at it on that run, but he's on bigger wages, isn't it? So Trossard's probably easier to move on. That's why it's a weird one, man. For all clubs in the summer, it's all fun and games saying sell this player, sell that player. Some players might want to leave, some offers might not come. So your club might want to get rid of man, but they can't get their replacements in. You know, you look at someone like Gabriel Jesus. I think he's probably the first name that Berta, and if Berta gets rid of him, I think you've done your thing. But at the end of the day, he's on a shitload amount of money. You've got a year left on your deal. You're kind of at his mercy to want to move on. Then I put myself in like whatever club, if I wanted to buy Gabriel Jesus, are you going to give Arsenal a transfer fee and wages? Now, we all know he's not going to earn what he earns at Arsenal somewhere else, but it ain't really making sense, if I'm honest, especially when in the summer he's going to have a year left. So, like, I think these examples could apply to many a club in it, but for us, this is where Berta's got to earn his money in terms of sales. Like, obviously, Lewis Skelly and Wanyeri have been linked. If they stay, they stay. If they go, they go. I want them to stay. They will fetch the highest fees, because I don't, like, if we just say both of them are worth 50 mil for whatever reason, I don't think any of the names I said are going to fetch in a bigger fee than them. But I also think, as much as it's about bringing in money to this club, I think it's less about that, Rants, and I think it's more about clearing up the wages. Got a lot of time for Benjamin White, but at the end of the day, we've ran you into the ground. You probably could get a younger and cheaper model to kind of do his role in the squad. For obvious reasons, you get rid of a Martinelli, you get rid of a Trossard, you get rid of a Gabriel Jesus, people of that ilk. Bearing in mind, we brought in a lot of players and we gave a lot of new deals. The wage structure starts to look a bit better. I think that's the biggest priority for my football club looking into next season, beyond obviously players to fight for whatever we want to fight for in years to come.
But I hear that, bro. But I don't think your club, yeah, notoriously, you just don't sell well. And I think that you need to improve on that.
That's why the biggest carrot of Berta coming into this club. You need to, because there was a time during the Emirates era, obviously Wenger was selling and flipping them like hotcakes. That hasn't been the case. We need to bring more money into this club, innit? Like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Iwobi, Joe Willock, them kind of man, they're probably our highest sellers. My thing is that as well, but it's getting a control on wages, isn't it? Like, you
but this is the thing, though. Like, you got rid of all these guys, but a lot of these guys were English players, bro. Do you know what I mean? And they weren't on the biggest salaries, bro. Like, the guys like Gabriel Jesus, moving on a Jesus is more valuable than moving on a Lewis Skelly or a thing, because them man are on peanuts in comparison.
Because he's on 200 odd grand a week. This is what I'm saying. And even that, yeah, like, you look at Ainsley Maitland-Niles. There was a time where, I think when we won the FA Cup, he was linked with Everton, he was linked with Wolves. Arteta even spoke about it, so it went beyond rumours and there was actually offers on the table. We didn't take it, fair enough. He looked like he was flavour of the month. You're settled into the squad. We ended up letting my man go for free. So sometimes you need to sell when the stock is kind of high and they're quote unquote somewhat flavour of the month. So yeah, I don't believe Arsenal are in any like financial danger in that, because the rumors always contradict themselves. They come out and say we're healthy financially, and then they say there's a need to sell. So that tells me that externally, in it, like, Josh Kroenke is right if he says, you know what, I've spent a lot of money. The man have been challenging, giving out new deals. From a business point of view, you haven't brought too much money in. Okay, at the time of bringing in Gabriel Jesus, it might have quote unquote been worth it. He was looking at longevity. Injuries haven't been kind. Need to get a bit of a hold on this, innit? Like, it's basic economics. If your outgoings are higher than your incomings, somewhere down the line, what's going on there?
No, complete facts, man. So no, it'll be interesting if we keep an eye on this, bro. This comment's funny, bro. Man said you don't need to start. So what? You're gonna spend 100 mil on a player that's not guaranteed to go into your starting lineup, bro. This is exactly why man like you don't run businesses.
Where the money has to stretch as well, because you probably need a centre middle too.
Who the fuck is spending 100 million? Because that's what they're saying. They're saying they want 85 to 100 million on a player that doesn't necessarily start ahead of the man that we've got in our starting 11, bro. If I'm spending 100 million,
anything, that's the
place. If I'm spending 100 million, this player has to walk into my team, like, undoubtedly, bro. There can't be is he better than Cunha conversation, or is he better than this, bro? The brother has to be a clear upgrade on what I have, or else I'm not spending 100 million.
Yeah, because the front three makes no sense. You look at and say, oh, it's all right at United.
Bro, Morgan Rodgers, doesn't come to Man United and automatically, he's better than Cunha. Like, that doesn't happen, bro.
So I think he goes Chelsea, man.
Bro, it just makes the most sense, bro. Like, Morgan Rodgers' price, the price alone of Morgan Rodgers means that he has to go to a team that needs him, bro. Because he has to go to a team that's willing to put down that money and sees him as an integral part of the team. He's not going there, So he's not going nowhere to be a squad player for the wages he's going to demand and also the fee he's going to demand.
That's why I think it's only a Chelsea thing. I can see
It
you
has to
starting
be.
there. Palmer's your boy. They're probably the ones that will entertain. It's not to say Arsenal, United, this one, that one won't have Rodgers, but they're the only ones that will take it beyond interest to actually, we're trying to sign him and whatnot. So it's a Chelsea thing for him, man.
Yeah, he
If he
walks
does
into
move,
Chelsea's team. You could argue he walks into your team because
he walks in, but
Martinelli.
we're not going to go 80, 90 for him, 80,
But that's
100
what I'm
million.
saying. But this is the point. For me, Morgan Rodgers is another player. He's worth 50, 60 mil, bro, from what I've seen. This ain't no £100 million player, bro. Like, absolutely no way, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's absolutely no way he is, bro, Morgan Rodgers. Like, no one could convince me that he's worth that kind of money, bro. Because the thing is, like, I'm not convinced that Elliot Anderson is worth 100 million, but Elliot Anderson's a better footballer than Morgan Rodgers. So when I'm looking at the Morgan Rodgers situation, I'm looking at him and I'm saying, bro, there's so many players in the league, that can give me, what you give me that I'm not paying 100 million for.
It's not even that for Elliot Anderson, and like your club needs a centre mid, my club needs a centre mid. There's more of a need for it. Like you can more see how he would fit in at Man United, or like definitely for us where you got Rice and Zubamendi. That's another one that genuinely is of a similar quality. Arteta might stop running the other two into the ground, so you could immediately see what like his role in it. Morgan Rodgers, the line's a bit blurred. I don't want to label him a luxury player, but I do think for a lot of top 6 clubs that have been linked with him, he would be deemed as a luxury kind of thing.
But he has to be because, bro, nobody can really tell me what this guy's position is. Because
it's left wing at the moment, he'll end up in midfield, didn't it?
But this is the point. Man is saying that really he
can play on the right.
He's a 10 in a double 10, but he's not a single 10. But man's playing on the left. The reason why he's playing on the left is because he's not a single 10. So a lot of the time, these 10s are getting put out on the left, but they're not really wingers. So the fact that
exactly him.
Yeah, so him, that's it. So he's not actually a winger, bro. So because of that, like, I'm not bringing this brer in, to play left wing when he's not really a winger. When you can go and get an actual winger. Like, to me, it doesn't make sense, especially for 100 million. I'm not bringing in someone 100 million, to do a job, bro. 100 million is not do a job. 100 million is, you need to be a specialist if I'm paying 100 million fee.
Bearing in mind, that's also one thing, but it's like, cool. Like Arsenal, Man United, you commit to 100 million on Morgan Rodgers. The other money has to stretch in whatever areas you need to address as well. Like, that's what people fail to understand. And he's going to be on big wages. Not that I care. Me and you've had this conversation about what players get paid and whatnot. But if Rodgers is on X amount, when it comes to incoming players at Man United or improved deals at Man United or at Arsenal, naturally, you're going to go, he's on how much? This kind of similar level. I'm going to need X amount. That's obviously what's happened at my club as well. So it's paper talk, man. I wouldn't cry if we got him, but it's paper talk, man. It's paper talk. And he's on the contract for a long period of time. If Aston Villa go and get Champions League football, it's not to say he won't leave, but it kind of weakens the case. Now, obviously, if they don't get champs, it comes down to how badly do you want Morgan Rodgers? Like, because I do think people like look at rumors, and they hear a club's interested, a club likes him, and they fail to understand a club liking a footballer and scouting a footballer is very different from, okay, we're chatting to agents, we're talking to third parties, we're seeing if it's feasible from a financial point of view. We're actually now actively beginning negotiations to ultimately get him at the club. That's what people don't understand. Everybody's interested in everyone.
And also, even if you're interested,
everybody wants all of them.
It doesn't mean that you're interested at that price. You know them right there. Like, you could be interested,
it might not even be a priority.
Interested at a certain
like
price.
It, but you want to go and do other things.
Yeah. 100%. So just because you're interested in a player doesn't mean that you're willing to part with what the club wants, bro. Like, it doesn't mean that. So by no means does it even mean that he leaves Aston Villa. It doesn't really mean that. Like, and I think,
and the new contract in November.
Yeah, if Aston Villa need the money, that's the only way that you could potentially see this leave. There's a big possibility that he still stays there because he's been linked with a move before, and like you said, signed a new deal.
So I'm saying, and he for where it looks, especially if they get Champions League football, he has to really force the issue and say, yo, I've loved my time at Villa. I want to go progress my career. And another club has to aggressively want him. Like, I don't doubt levels of interest, but I can't see like everybody scrambling for him if it's not a Chelsea thing.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I think for the most part, it's probably agent talk. And I don't even think that my man's having a good enough season this season for this agent to even be briefing stuff, bro.
Yeah, but he
Because
wouldn't be doing his job as an agent if you weren't doing that, man. It's
yeah,
like
but
being a boxing
if
promoter,
a
isn't
man
it?
just signed a new deal, yeah, and he's not playing wavy, yeah, and you're linking man to clubs, yeah, I can't lie, you're just moving a bit weird, like it's not making too much sense to me right now.
Unless he's trying to negotiate another new deal, because we also do see that a player signs a new deal and then a few months
We
later it's an
do.
improved thing. It's all mind games.
We do, unless something's happening there
Yeah,
where
or there's
maybe
trouble in the camp.
yeah, maybe or maybe somebody else is negotiating more money and they've got a sniff of it and they're like, hold on, if my man's getting more money, I want more money. Could be that, or do you know what I mean? Who knows what it could be? But all I know is, yeah, the numbers being thrown around for his services are not making too much sense to me based on what I've seen of him as a player. I'm not saying man's robbed or anything like that, but what I'm seeing of him, yeah, like this is not, to me, this is not like it's not a top level player, bro, for the money that man are throwing about.
Yeah, money in football went out of the window a long time ago.
No,
man.
I hear that, but you know what it is? Even though the money's gone crazy, yeah, you still kind of have to. There still has to be some sort of reference point. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
There has to be a reference point, and it's not just ability. It's not just ability. It's not just ability. You have to look at the market. You have to look at the circumstances of why the players moved. You have to look at contracts. You have to look at all these things. If the guy really does have like 5 years left on his deal, yeah,
2031, yeah, he does.
yeah. So so you're gonna have to really, really aggressively go after this player to get him, bro. Because
exactly, it's gonna be
you're
a
not
saga.
forcing your way out the club with 5 years left, bro.
He's gonna have to hold that.
Yeah, like it's weird, cause like it's
Unless there's some
and it's kind of
gentleman's
come out of
agreement.
nowhere because he wasn't even getting linked with moves yet before he signed a new deal, and it's like now he signed a deal. Now, man, are talking about it now, but it's like where was this chat 6 months ago when he wouldn't have had long left?
Fair.
Yeah, like it's weird. Like the whole thing is weird, bro. It feels like he hasn't been linked with no one. It's not like he's playing really, really well now, and it's like teams are looking at him like, yo, must get this guy or whatever. Like, it's just this news has come out of nowhere.
Shout out to Villa, they're gonna make profit on that as well, man. They bought him for like 8.5 million or something. I could be wrong. Either way, they're gonna make bank, man. When the time does come, I more think the Elliot Andersons, Morgan Gibbs White, them kind of man is their summers to kind of move on to another club, and then maybe next season could be a Morgan Rodgers. But you know,
you think that Morgan Gibbs White is moving on as well as Anderson?
I think so.
Rotted, bro.
I think so, because White would have cut last year, but obviously the Strally came out and he got told, listen, you can't cut anywhere. Elliot Anderson, it's a money thing, innit? Like, fair play, we're making bread off you. Can't begrudge if you're being linked with Man United and Man City. It's the evolution of life. Go do your thing. So indirectly, yeah. Obviously, naturally, they'll try hold on to one. You know, they'll definitely drive a hard bargain and they got to find their own replacements. But yeah, I mean, it all depends, because I don't know how many people are interested in Gibbs White in it, but Spurs were within a whisker of getting him. I don't know if he wants to go there. We don't know if he'll still be in the league or if other teams, because he's actually been linked with City as well. I think when I look at them English youths, I can see why in the modern day people want Gibbs White. But yeah, Don Mirakis or whatever his name is, bro, you've seen the stick come out, bro. Like,
this is what I'm trying to say. He's not having it. And this is why I can't see Anderson and Gibbs White leaving. It would be a madness. And especially if they get relegated as well. Like, there's so many different moving parts of
Forest go down, they're both cut.
You reckon regardless, they're both cut?
Keep them in the Championship, respectfully to Forest. They're gone.
No, if they go down, they're both cutting. But say, for instance, say they stay up.
If they stay up, then probably just one. But that's what I mean. It depends on the level of interest in Gibbs White. I think Anderson's gone. Like, he's England shouts, being linked with a lot of clubs now. He's gone, innit? Like, he's gone. If you asked me a year ago, it would have just been Gibbs White and Anderson. See what you're saying type of thing. But yeah, man, there's a lot of players at Forest that could get moves. I don't really rate him, but the right back Williams is being linked with clubs abroad. What's his name? Marilo's decent. Even that Igor Jesus brother could get a move, and all the other traditional names, man.
No, 100. No, I do agree with that. One thing someone said, and it could be true. Obviously, I don't know what salary Rodgers was on before he signed a new deal, but there could also be something in that where he signed a new deal and maybe there's a release clause in there that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Because because they do those things as well.
Or a
So
gentleman's
maybe,
agreement in writing, like
yeah,
keyword people in writing.
yeah.
But,
So maybe
you
he signed a new deal and he got a release clause in there or something that said that if a certain team comes in with a certain amount that he could leave. That's the only thing that potentially could then change the direction in which this is going, because when you see 6 years or 5 years on his deal, yeah, it looks weird, innit? It looks like
death
bro,
row
you
thing.
wouldn't even negotiate.
You have to be prepared to pay whatever they want or near enough close to it. Know you're paying a bit there, but you really want the guy. If not, you need a bust stop, you need PSR, you need teams to get relegated, you need gentlemen's agreements to be broken, gentlemen's agreements that's in writing. These kind of man, you know yourself, man, too much dominoes have to fall in place. And 9 times out of 10, when you see these man make moves like us and Declan Rice, it started a year before the move has actually happened. So there's a year of dialogue and a lot of dominoes falling. So it'd be interesting, man, but we're going to see many a silly rumor as we approach the end of the year, man.
But this is what I'm saying. This is why I find it a bit strange, because there was no murmurs of this, bruh. Really, once he signed a new deal, it was done. Do you know what I'm saying? So man said his new deal, he was on 75 and he went to 100. What's that now? It's a 120. So he was on 75 or 100 now, so bro. So yeah,
but Chelsea are silly enough to pay him substantially more than that. You got
bro,
not
if
that
he's
I
on
care
like
about
120
finances,
for
but
argument's
other
sake,
clubs are not
yeah.
going to do that.
If he's on 120 for argument's sake, based on how man's playing, man can't be looking to be getting much more than that. Like, let's be honest. Like, it's not making no sense.
200, but myth.
Yeah, like 200k for that. Nah, brother, I'm sorry.
That's what I mean.
Like,
Chelsea are the only team that would say, you know what, bang, because you look at some of their players that are on certain wages.
Yeah,
and every
Enzo's
club's
on the
them,
200.
Bear man are on comfy wages, bro.
Yeah, but bro, you man paid dumb wages as well. If he ends up at you lot, he'll get 200.
This is what I'm saying. That's why I think Chelsea are the only team that's going to do it, because we're trying to get our act together in that regards. I don't believe we should have went for like a Kai Havertz, but it is what it is. Gabriel Jesus, I can see why they gave that to you. That was 3-4 years ago. It's not like we brought their man in there now. You look at Pedro Neto, Mudryk, this one, that one. A lot of players that have come into Chelsea recently. There's several players that are there. So that's why another reason as to why I think the Chelsea thing for Rodgers is just making sense. And they buy a lot of people that have rubbed shoulders and been at City and rubbed shoulders with the previous regime as well.
That I agree with. That looks more likely to me from that standpoint.
Fucking there's better than man.
Yeah, no, 100%. From that standpoint, I completely. That's why I think it would kind of make sense. And him and Cole Palmer are boys as well. So
Palmer even, yeah. Palmer teeth this celebration on the colonizer thing.
Yeah, so hold on. Rodgers is on 75k last year, now on 150. Bro, well, if he's doubled his wages, where's he going? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's looking weird, bro. I can't lie, because he's not going to move for the same money. You wouldn't think, because Villa kind of are playing Champions League football. Like, now they've been playing Champions League football. You know what I mean? So what? 2 of the last 3 seasons, I swear they've been in the champs. So that him leaving, unless you're giving him a substantial pay rise, I just don't see the angle.
It's a non-story, man.
Yeah, it just seems a bit weird, innit? It seems a bit off, guys. That's the one thing I would say, man. And me personally, I don't think United need him, and I don't want him at United. I don't think that he's a profile of player that makes us better. I can't see. Yeah, I just can't see a reason for signing a player like Morgan Rodgers. I don't think he's that level, and also I just think that his profile is a very strange one. Like, I don't really know, apart from carrying the ball, like, I don't really know what he's good at. I don't really know.
Yeah.
So it's just one of them ones, man. But who knows, people? Do you know what I mean? But this weekend, that's it. This weekend, it's going to be an interesting weekend for football. We play last, blood, so man just get to sit back and watch everyone.
Man, I played on my birthday. Come on, Leeds, bro. Come on, Leeds.
Listen, we're winning at comfy, bro. You know them way there. We're winning at comfy, I'll be honest.
Clip that.
Now, we're winning at comfy, so don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? The man, them are just, they're cheesing right now. They're getting ready, innit? The Leeds are going to get put in a spliff, brother, at Old Trafford.
Leeds, don't have it. Show them, man, you're the real United, man.
No, not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? They could hold 3 or 4 still, so
God, please, football gods,
I'll be
please.
interested. Hey, bro, you man got to worry about yourself beforehand, you
I
know.
always worry about myself.
You don't worry about yourself beforehand because you
I'm
just
always worried.
know.
It's you lot who talk on my team more than your actual clubs. I can look
You
at the
see
vids. I'm
Bournemouth?
always worried about my thing.
You see Bournemouth now, you know? They're funny customers.
Serious
You
club.
just don't know.
Matt, great manager, great teams, great ethos, unique qualities. Beat us last season. Sorry, we beat them last year, but it weren't easy. You know, everybody's played against Bournemouth. They're stubborn old bastards. They're a very good side. Every game's a cup final on the best of days. Obviously, we're at the final stretch. You know, I've seen my boys in training. I don't doubt the willingness. Obviously, we beat Sporting. It was unfortunate what happened to us in the last cup competitions, but life moves on, man. I have to keep going, man. I have to keep going. Come on,
Nah,
the
trust
Arsenal,
me.
man. 12:30.
What were you
You
saying
know
anyway?
what do you mean?
What are you
I
saying
didn't
for the
understand the
game,
question.
bro? What were you saying
Well,
for the game? Like how's your confidence after the Sporting game?
my confidence the same way it's been. You know, we're just one level, just left foot in front of the right. We got unique qualities. Nothing changes in football, innit? The
That's
goalposts are the
crazy,
same.
bro.
We got to go from one end to the other. Let's keep
That's
working
crazy,
hard, man.
bro. Like obviously, man, I didn't watch the game, but I heard you man was stinking the place out against Sporting.
And what Sporting did. I mean, little boring Arsenal. That's cool, man. We won the game, innit? We got out of Portugal, a ground we don't travel well to. Obviously, I wouldn't say it's I think there is a lot of agendas in it, and I don't really care if people want to run agendas. I do think isolated to that 90 minutes, a lot of people didn't watch the game. They're doing too much. And I also think a lot of Arsenal fans, obviously, the last two cup games, we've gone out. We weren't happy with it, all of that kind of stuff. You want to see a performance that makes you go, oh, yeah. I think it was an improvement. I don't think it was one where I think it was bad, but I don't think it's one where I'm like, yeah, I forgive you lot. But I also have to be fair to Sporting. You know, their home record in the champs is great. Their home record and their just general form in the league is great. Their manager, what he's done in 8 years of being a gaffer is good. I think it was a good tactical battle, if I'm honest with you. A draw would have been the fairest result. It was obviously heading that way. Obviously, big up David Raya. Kai Havertz nicked it for us. We got out of there, man. Bringing it back to the Emirates. Job's not done in the champs, like obviously, because I remember when we got dumped out of the Europa League. I think Arteta was the gaffer against Sporting. I think the game where Ramsdale got done from the halfway line and Martinelli missed the pen. You know, shout out Martinelli for that assist. I don't know what goes through his head in the champs, but yeah, man. Obviously, we lost the League Cup final. We lost the FA Cup final. It don't look good. It looks even worse if you don't win the Champions League game. So I wouldn't say we've stopped the rut or anything, because again, you need to go and do it tomorrow. But to step in the right direction, and when you're bleeding for confidence, you're gonna take some stock in anything. But that game's been and gone, man. We have to focus on Bournemouth. Bournemouth are stubborn bastards, bro. What are they like? What 11 games unbeaten in the Prem at this moment in time? At the moment, I could
think
be
at
wrong.
home anyway. They
At
got
home
a
or
really good
something like
home
that.
record.
Either way, they got something mad that's up there with, at this moment in time, one of the most informed sides in the Premier League. So, play. It's a simple game. Individually, make sure you stand up to be counted. The collective takes care of itself. By hook or by crook, just get the 3 points, man. We've spoken about this before, Rants, where we talk about attacking play and all of that kind of stuff. I've parked it off now. Like, it's long now. Like, it's April. These things are not going to happen. At best, all I can pray for is some purple patches. My thing is just win the games, bro. I know about the good, bad, and ugly of my team. Just win the games, fam. Like, that's what you can do. Win the games. Whatever talking points happen. Win the game, innit? Areola, allow us, man. But it's going to be a good game, man. 12:30 makes me a bit nervous, but fuck it.
But the man said, allow us, you know, bro. Nah, you man should be dealing with this, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Champions elect and that, man. Have to just.
I don't know, man.
Know?
You know more about my club than me. I don't know. I don't look at the league table.
Bro, that's what you man been saying. So you just need to
Who
handle
are you,
business.
man? Who are these, man? I can only speak for
need
myself.
Need to handle business, bro. Big up Julian for the super chat.
Business,
I'm guessing that's Troops putting man in trouble again. Man are saying, man's asking you this question because apparently Troops is going off on one again, talking about Courtois and them things there, bro. That's what I mean. Them man always trying to create like ups out of nowhere, cause create rivalries and that. You know what I'm saying? Like Courtois and Raya now. Do you know what I mean? Saka and Lamine and that. You know them right there. That's what man just doing.
I don't know about none of that.
Man, them just creating rivalries with man that are just like out of your league and that. Man are doing it, bro. Creating these rivalries. What are you telling me about your guy David Raya, bro?
Whoa, you know what Raya's on, isn't it? He's cold, isn't it? My guy, bro. Spanish cat. In relation to Raya and Courtois, I'd have to speak with, when training's done, I'll speak with my goalkeeping coaches. I don't know who's better. No, I'm chatting, man. Courtois is better than him, but shout out Raya. He's top 5. Courtois is better than him, though.
Top 5? What, in the league or in the world?
But, well, definitely in the league and in the world. I'm not saying
right. I thought you meant
both
in the league.
Top 5. David Raya, definitely.
I hear that. You know what I'm saying? I hear it.
David Raya. My brother.
I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? But Fairs, you know what
He's
I'm
cold,
saying?
man.
I'm
What do
glad
you
you
mean?
lot
What?
happy
He's
with
not.
it. I'm
David
glad
Raya's
you're
not
happy
top
with your
five,
goalkeeper, man. That's
a
good,
top
bro.
five goalie in the world. You
No,
lot
but bro,
haters,
at
man.
least you man are happy with your goalkeeper. It's good. You know the ones that is.
I'm happy with my goalkeeper. I'm happy with both of them still.
I hear all of that. You know what I'm saying? So what, you're not blaming him for you lot being out the cup? I don't blame him either.
We had this conversation and I dispelled all of that cop out, just blaming Kepa. Like, obviously, man can sit here and say Kepa, yes, he had butterfingers, but at the end of the day, yeah, less so much Southampton, because I think, sometimes when your team lose, yeah, man might not like Kepa, man might not like
Mm.
Odegaard, you might not like Saka.
Yeah,
People
man, they're
just start
looking for a scapegoat, blood. He's
Yeah,
an
man, they
easy
start
one.
crashing out for no reason. Like, if you're blaming, honestly, I think Kepa's shit. I don't think he should be here. We've had this conversation before, yeah, where I didn't subscribe to this whole playing him in the final, innit? Raya could have made a mistake in the League Cup final, but his mistake would have been more like, do you remember the North London derby where he tried to find Partey and the pass was under hit? We needed that. There's no coincidence where, like, the sporting game, obviously, I'm not saying it was amazing football, but why did we move the ball quicker and better? Our better keeper with his feet is obviously there. If people are blaming Kepa for going out of the last 2 cup games, it's a cop out. It's an easy thing. Yes, you could say goals change games, moments, etc., etc. One, the managers put him out there, and two, if you're saying Kepa, cool, we could say Kepa was 0 out of 10. He was mad shit. Bearing in mind, football's a 90-minute game, and there was a flashpoint. If Kepa was shit, and that's the be and end as to why we lost that game, or times 2, then I should see 10 other players that played out of their skin. It's not true, is it? Don't make sense. So yeah, it's a factor, but it's a cop out, bro. Dead.
Nah, facts. You can't be blaming the goalkeeper for the loss when you can't name players that were actually putting in
Man
work.
are not following runners. Individual players are not standing up to be counted. Man, like, the manager is not showing any proactiveness in terms of changing how City are pressing us. That's in the final. Southampton. I don't think Arsenal's general play is great in it. I've said this before, but isolated to what I've seen, I actually thought the Southampton game was an improvement. Other than that, obviously, you go and look at the goals we conceded. Kepa's done madness, but at the end of the day, yeah, we've lost the ball. We won the second goal we've conceded from a goal kick. The first one, whether it's Odegaard's fault or not, it's on the edge of their area. That's 2/3 of the team before you ask a question of Kepa or a keeper. Did they not say a goalie is the last line of defense? But people don't see these things. And again, beyond him playing for Arsenal and me just being fair to the Don, yeah, I'm not here to back up Kepa, because half of these people that are saying stuff about Kepa, they were gassing him up. But that's the reality of it. Because how many times have better goalies or better individuals in general, both at my club, your club, or whatever, made mistakes and man still win the game? So it's easy to just do this crash out thing and everybody shit, fuck everyone. But you know in your heart you're capping. You know
No,
you're chatting.
100%. If it was really close, yeah, and it was one chance, yeah, that
Then
was
yeah,
the
all right,
difference.
cool, careful, what's going on?
Yeah, but it wasn't that. It wasn't that, bro. City had enough. They had enough of the ball. They were dominating enough that it's like, man can't look at it and say, you know what, it was one moment, bro.
Exactly. And who put him out there? Like, not to alleviate Kepa, because obviously, Kepa's had stinkers, but who put him out there? Who put him out there? And I think, honestly, yeah, when I look at Kepa, I see a guy who's a decent, quote-unquote, shot stopper, because you was number 1 at Bournemouth. But in this modern day, we need to be able to play with your feet. If I'm being 100% honest, yeah, I actually think he shows a willingness to do whatever Arteta's asking of a goalie in that system. So that's probably a question for Arteta to have to tweak things. You're giving it a good goal. You're showing confidence. One thing that's annoyed me, and I'd have to speak to the gaffer, yeah, obviously Raya's a better ball playing keeper, all of that kind of jazz. But there's been times this season we're doing the directing. We'll just lump it long, work off the first and second balls. I haven't seen, fair enough, it's only been 2 games recently, but I haven't seen that with Kepa, because Kepa's thing should be a decent keeper, lump it long. Obviously, you need to be able to play. We're trying to make man do things that they can't do. So this is what I mean. Like, I can't, how vexed can I get? I said this to you before, Rents. When I see Kai Havertz in a final missing a decent chance, when I see Kepa effing up, when I like Noni, but when I see Noni forgetting that you actually have to stay within the chalk, I can't get vexed at these things, bro. At some point, if you've got an unruly kid that keeps going to prison and misbehaving in school, it's not the parents' fault no more, bro. My man's just a bad PG. It's dead, bro. It's dead.
Oh, I hear it. I completely hear that, bro. It's gonna be interesting anyway, bro, to see how the rest of the season unfolds, blood. There's not really that much margin for error now. You know what I'm saying? So
Nah, not for anyone, man. Nothing's been decided, man. The race for top 4, the race for the title, the race for relegation is mad. It's mad. It's mad.
nah, it's true that there's a lot of stuff still open. Obviously, obviously you got City. No, you got Aston Villa.
Second.
What's that?
Are you lot still scheming on second place?
I think that's completely out of our hands, bro. We just need to see what happens above us, innit? But we're definitely looking up and not down.
You're
Do you
getting
know what I'm
third
saying?
minimum.
Definitely looking up and not down, bro. I think Chelsea have a very difficult game against Man City. Liverpool, I'm not
Liverpool
quite
start.
sure about Liverpool's fixtures, but they're just not playing well.
No,
They're
Liverpool
lacking,
fixtures are nasty, bro. I
yeah,
remember
they're
looking on my
lacking
live stream, they're
confidence.
nasty.
Oh,
You need
for
to look them
real?
up. They're not, bro. They
Okay.
got some nasty games where I'm not saying they can't win, but
They got
they're
Fulham
not
away
easy.
right next, haven't they?
Like what? Obviously
Oh no,
exclude
it's
the next
Fulham at home,
Champions
I
League
think.
game. They got Fulham at home. They got Merseyside derby after that away at Everton. They got
Oh,
Crystal Palace at home. They got you lot on the third at Old Trafford on the 3rd of May. After that, they play Chelsea at home. Then they got to go Aston Villa away, and then they end the season against Brentford, which Brentford have an outside chance of making Champions League. So if we
is
assume
that
last
is
day of
that
the
Brentford
season,
away
we're
as
saying
well, or
this
Brentford at home?
Brentford at home, but that could be a 6 point.
Right.
Brentford looking a better moment right now. You know,
Yeah.
for a manager in Slot that sits there and says, "Oh, I love PSG," and everybody's doing the set piece thing. You're up there for set pieces. You went over there, had no shot on target, had 26% of the ball. You went and played a back five. And people don't understand. People think this thing is FIFA. You can go to a back five if your ethos isn't to be compact and want to defend and follow runners and all of this. It doesn't really mean anything. So
Right.
Liverpool are in issues. Obviously, Slot is you probably got to go, but the players, bro, like the players don't look together, bro. I look at Spurs in the relegation race. I look at Liverpool trying to salvage whatever. The players don't look together. Like that was a
Yeah.
big thing as to why Liverpool was so good, even to a degree last season, even though they kind of quote unquote walked the league. They're in trouble, bro. And when you're in that situation, every game, you don't know how it's gonna pan out. And like I said, Brentford, a team that man was saying we're gonna get relegated. They lost Thomas Frank, they lost Embuemo, they lost Norgard, they lost Visa. They got outside chance of Europe, really outside chance. And it's not even outside like that. They're not that many points of Liverpool. Obviously, it's out of their hands, but boy, there's a lot of football to be decided, man.
Nah, you're right. They've got a nasty run, bro, and they're low in confidence.
And like someone said,
Um,
Everton as well, even. And they
Everton
got to
are
play them.
on their tails, bro. It's a 3 point thing. So if Everton beat them, then they go joint on points with them, bro. And that's even more pressure on Liverpool.
And you're at this point in the season, it's a momentum thing. Momentum can be positive, it can be negative, it can be the collective team, it could be some individuals, because this is the part of the season. I said this to you before. The man in your teams, everybody's teams that you don't rate yet, or they divide opinion. This is the part of the season where they start going through purple patches. So for us, not so much Jesus, but for us, well, Jesus and Zinni when they're at City, but that would be a Kai, that would be a Marino who's injured. This is where all of these things are going to start counting. And boy, Liverpool are playing a dangerous game, bro. They don't like the gaffer don't have the answers in it. And the players have to take responsibility because a year ago, Gravenberch playing out of his skin. Van Dijk's obviously one of the best Premier League centre halves, quote unquote, not doing what he needs to do. Konate looking like Bambi on ice. Frimpong shit at right back. Left back Kirkes looks like the shirt is too big for him. I don't really even blame the keepers. One of their best players in the last 2 games I've seen has probably been Joe Gomez, and he ain't really even been given an opportunity to kick a ball. So it's
Yeah.
it's going to be an interesting run for everybody, man. But that top 4 race, Champions League race, it can't really be decided. Like, I think you lot are going to get third. I think City are obviously there as well as us. But when you start looking at Liverpool, Villa, Chelsea,
Yeah, there's too many
you
twists
don't
and
really know
turns.
who's going to do it. Yeah,
The
exactly.
fact that Liverpool have to play us and Chelsea and Villa, I swear. So that
Yeah, it's mad.
all the teams around them they're playing. So they kind of do have influence over where they're gonna finish, but their form's just so bad.
And that's why they need to pattern up, because they could, if they sit there and go, do you know, and we assume they beat you, they beat Brentford, they beat Chelsea, I don't even know if they got Villa, sorry, Everton, they've got Everton. These are 6 pointers. Obviously, if you win them, you fuck up everyone else's ambitions for Champions League.
Yeah.
But you can't convincingly say that's how they should be looking at it, and they probably are, but you can't convincingly say Liverpool are going to do that. And if Liverpool don't get Champions League, obviously they can still attract players and that, but we can't beat around the bush. You feel it in your pockets. All clubs do. That's a big prerogative of half of these executives. So, boy,
It's a lot
I
of
hope
pressure
Slot
for them,
stays.
bro.
Boy,
It's a lot of pressure for them. I can't lie because
pressure.
they're below us and they're below Villa. So, really, they
And they're the
wanna be
defending
winning
champ.
against both of us.
They should be hungrier than you, man. Like, they
Yeah.
have to salvage their season, bro. You look at the first half of the year versus now. You lot went out against Grimsby, whatever happened, and banter aside, United have overtaken you lot. Bear in mind, you spent 500 mil, some of the best players in the world, quote unquote, defending champions.
And there's
first
daylight
alarm
as
bell.
well. It's not like you're 1 point away from us.
Yeah, exactly. They've cleared your thing. Whatever way you look at it, they've cleared your thing. Brentford and Everton are down your tails. This is something that should not be said with Liverpool, on top of how they ended last season, how they approached it this year, even the alarm bells last season, especially towards the end when they wrapped up the league very quickly. They went IB for him, whatever. The warning signs have been there, man. They've been there.
No, it's peak. It's
It's peak for
actually
them.
peak. No,
So
you're
I don't
not
know
wrong.
who's getting top 5, quote unquote. I can predict 3 places. You lot are City. Other than that, I'd love for Everton, Brentford, and Villa to do it. Other than Liverpool and Chelsea, obviously, naturally, the pagans in it, but nobody knows.
No, it's true. But no, this is what I'm saying though. You know what I mean? This is where we need to be though. You know what I'm saying? This is where we need to be. This is the part of the season where everyone locks in. This is
Exactly.
this is the part of the season where there's no throwaway games, bro. Like on paper, a lot of the fixtures look dead, but when you see the consequences of the fixtures, this is when it starts to get interesting.
And
like
the easy ones on paper, they're the banana skins at this point in the season.
100%.
They're the shock results that happen.
Because these teams are playing for something, bro. Like even tomorrow, like Spurs could end up in the relegation zone tomorrow if results go a certain way. Like, do you know what I mean? So, like, all these games kind of at the moment, they all mean something. There's not many teams that you can look at and say, yo, man, on the beach. Oh, tonight. Depends. If West Ham win today, innit? Spurs could be in the West relegation zone tomorrow.
Actually, look at
they're playing. I think they're playing Wolves, aren't they? And they should beat Wolves.
For the cause, I want West Ham to beat Wolves, but if I'm honest,
but you just never know.
Wolves might do that
because Wolves have been pulling out performances.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I think Wolves get something today. Spurs, Sunderland away. In De Zerbi, you trust in it. Like if I had to put money down, I'd say Sunderland get points. But
same.
I don't know, man. Like De Zerbi might be able to do a thing. I rate De Zerbi, but that man look like poison. Them players look poisoned, bro.
So I mean, it's a weird situation bringing in a manager like De Zerbi for a squad like Spurs. Spurs' squad is, bro. Not only is it imbalanced, but it's so devoid of like real quality,
competence, consistency.
It's just like
any fight for themselves, let alone the shirt.
Bringing in a manager that's so particular and so specific in the way he wants to play. Yeah, like. Or even though on paper, cool, you're gonna gas some Tottenham fans because it's like, we're moving like a big club, like that appointment at that time, doesn't make very much sense to me.
But what did you just say there, Rance? That's the big thing. Time. Obviously, people think, managers just go into a club and they do that. What you're seeing with Liverpool defensively isn't something that's happened overnight. There's been bad habits there for a year or so. In the same way, any positives with whatever club you support, you don't just click your fingers and they're there. To have what De Zerbi wants, the tactics, the ethos, I need you to be here when my man's got the ball and positional and all of that kind of stuff. It takes forever to introduce that, and they don't have time. I think they'll buy into him. If you won't play for De Zerbi, then what will you? But as you're kind of alluding to, bro, there's been different managers there now. Everything's been going on. They do not have time. And De Zerbi, I know he's got a decent deal. He's got Spurs by the balls, really, because he's finessed himself a good contract, probably with a good payout packet. If anything happens. Yeah, but he's shown he will cut. He's shown before, if I could wake up tomorrow, I don't like what's going on. He told me to suck my mum, I'm gone. Like, it's dark. I wonder why De Zerbi even took it at this moment in time. Maybe nothing else is going on him, but I thought regardless in the summer, he'd have multiple offers in it. He always finds himself in with a job.
He must have some willingness. Sure that he's finessed them, bro, because
he's pulled their pants down.
He's not going to get them in such a desperate situation, bro. I think they're saying he's what, second or third highest paid manager in the league, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
and how long has he got in terms of a contract? Because it ain't no 6 months thing, 1 year thing.
Yeah, nah, it would be a proper contract, bro. So, like, he's eating. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's absolutely eating. He would have made sure, because he would have known the risks coming in right now, and he would have known the state of the dressing room. He would have seen the performances, bro. So for him to step in like this, it had to be an offer that he couldn't refuse.
And these men have stunk it out for 2 years. Yeah, I know last year they won the Europa League, it's all fine and dandy, but they were fighting relegation last year. If nothing changes, bro. It's the same with Liverpool. Liverpool won the league last year, but the evident signs were there. This is what I mean.